Hi guys. So I have some cards here from a read I did a couple days ago, a few days ago. Midnight election night, how will we feel? Some cards that sort of stayed with me. Just in case there's any confusion, these cards were in what I call the side story of that read, which is when I look at the bottom of the deck after I've thrown my main cards to see if there's more insight in there to the main read. And these two cards specifically, I felt them, but I didn't quite nail down what they represented. And I know what they are now. And it's pretty cool. Might be interesting to you. And also something that's now in the news that I believe I'm getting with these cards. And we'll get into that. It's the computer hacking. If you watched Rachel Maddow or have followed any of this story, these Russian hackers trying to do some dirty work and chaos and freak us out. So I'll get into, and then I went deeper into that story, and we'll look into that. But first, real quick, I had a couple requests on my last video on my pendulum picks for the Senate. Somebody asked me to read on a race in Georgia, Kelly Loeffler, Republican, versus Reverend Raphael Warnock, Democrat, with the coolest name ever. And I got the Reverend Warnock winning that race. Kansas, Roger Marshall, Republican, and Barbara Bollier, Democrat. This is actually not, from what I could tell, because I did look it up, it's not even, the Republican looks like he's winning, but I get Barbara Bollier, the Democrat, winning. And I take back what I said. In fact, they are very much tied in the polls. And in fact, Barbara Bollier, as of 10/28 in two new polls, is 1 point ahead of the opponent. And in my pendulum picks that I did, it was already getting to, I already had gotten the majority once I read Alaska, and that was even without counting the three that I had, as I couldn't really get an answer. So, and then I just straight up asked my pendulum, does the Senate go blue? And I get a yes. So that's awesome. I really hope that's right. And actually, I'm going to take a minute right now and check in on these 50-50 races and see if I get an answer. Okay. So I continued to get 50-50 for Colorado and Arizona, or whatever this up and down is. But I did get for Iowa, I think Joni Ernst, Republican, keeps that seat. So that really doesn't affect the rest of it. It just means we don't get, or according to my read here, it looks like she might keep that seat. But yeah, again, it still wouldn't affect all the new seats that seems like we're getting, according to my pendulum. And, it's all just an experiment, but it's fun. And I have been listening now to other readers and their takes, and it's so fun to hear similar takes on this. Because, I really tried, if there's something I want to read on, I try not to look at the videos that I know are on that same subject, and then later I'll listen, and it's so fun if I feel like we're getting the same thing. So I love it that we are in a lot of these ways. So now, if you did watch my midnight election day read, how are we going to feel? You might remember this side story I did, and there was this Queen of Cups, and I kept going, who is this? Who is this? And someone did suggest Kamala Harris, and I did sort of feel into that. I do think that Kamala could be a Queen of Cups at times, but not right now, and not on election day, because Queen of Cups is deeply emotional, and I'm feeling this as deeply emotional, but in a more almost sorrowful and sort of in a private way, and I'll explain because I know what it is now. And I'll say that I just think that Kamala right now, and for the next 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, I hope she's more going to be, she's got this Queen of Wands energy, which is like fire. And I do notice sometimes she has a Queen of Swords energy, like when she's in her lawyer mode, you know, she gets real sharp as far as intellect and all that. But right now she's in Wands fire mode, which is fun. So this Queen of Cups, I'm feeling is very, yeah, emotional. So, and I mentioned this when I saw the Empress card at the end, and I was saying I think women are going to be coming out to vote. That's what this is here. But you know what this Sage of Cups is? Young people. We've got young people and women coming out to vote. And I forgot to mention, as they are both Cups cards, which is water and emotion, and for me, Democrats, that tells me they're coming out to vote blue. Now, a lot of women did vote for Hillary Clinton, but they were surprising populations. The white suburban women that sort of surprisingly voted for Trump in 2016, and it affected the election. And I feel that these women, they're sorry. I feel sorrow here. But now they're like, oh my gosh, I get it. So that will be really interesting to see the difference. And it's pretty hysterical or sad watching Trump, although I'm sure a lot of you cannot stand to watch these Trump rallies. But he is so pandering to what he thinks is a white suburban woman. And it's like so condescending and insulting. I don't know how they can stand it. But young people, I'm very excited to see if I'm right on this. I'm very excited to see the youth vote. Pages can also mean new voters, whether young or not. So I think we will see a huge turnout also of newly registered voters, in this case, voting blue. And I think it's going to be really big, and that is such a game changer for our society, and is so positive. And it's awesome. And then, and here's the vote, putting down the sword. I can feel these people wanting to put down the sword, to use their power, to have their voice heard in their vote. So this just gives me a lot of hope for the future. Now getting into this, I remember in my read I was saying, and sometimes I know it's so, the reading part is easy for me. It's the expressing it through my voice that gets difficult, which is why I end up doing like sort of adding little notes and doing voiceovers, because I find the way to say it. But anyway, I think you guys get that. But I was saying the unknown will be known, and I get this now, and I got the feeling of that, which must have just sounded very meaningless. But then I saw that report that Rachel did, like I was saying, on this hacking going on. And I'm like, there it is. And actually, if you look closely at this card, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's almost like all these little calculations, and it almost just looks like you would imagine that the internet looks inside the internet. I'm not technical, so I probably sound silly, but you know, all these little information highways or whatever. This would be the hackers trying to hack. And you can see him holding that, whatever that is, magic 8-ball, but it's like, so the internet. And he's just like this dark force trying to mess with things, to create fear, and hey, maybe even hack into some of the voting systems. And of course, they're trying to scare us by hacking into some of the hospitals. A couple things that stood out to me, and I thought Rachel handled it really well. Like, okay, it's scary. It is, especially when you hear these are Russian hackers and we're days away from the election. But a lot of it is that they want to scare us. They want to like throw us off. So beware of being too afraid of this. And I do have some very good news, because it's right there with the Sun card. And this is that we see you, okay? It's so great. And I love that it's this little girl blowing bubbles. And this I see as those in the systems, because we have seen some good news from that report, is that there are already people out there taking these people down, like doing whatever they need to do. And look, there is a little cute little sparrow there. So she sees they are being so, and I feel like after, and the Sun card also exposing this story. By exposing the story, and helping people to see and know there's going to be 10 times as many people doing this work today. And that's what I feel also this Ace of Cups was after it. And this is like a very much of a cleansing card. So it's almost like we're clearing out the viruses that would be planted around and the hackers trying to hack and do their dirty work. And it's just like this dove and the splashing of this pure water to me feels like, and with the Sun card, it's like we see you and we're clearing you out. So I'm not trying to say everything is going to be so okay and 100%, but those cards are pretty strong that it will be okay. So there's definitely like hope in that. And then this upside down 3 of coins right here. Upright, this is a plan. Upside down, it's a plan that, and I've seen this, and it's so funny that my Hunter Biden card is here also. And this card also, Hunter Biden or not, is 6 of Swords, going to smoother waters, okay? This plan, I believe, that is upside down, so therefore it's just not working. It's like the coins are sort of falling out. It's sloppy, or it's, and then it's crooked and it's sloppy and it's not working. And I believe what it's showing us here are like the sort of maybe the 2 plans, one of them being this Hunter Biden thing. It's not working. And I love some of these cards here that I'll get to in a second, but also this, this, if there's a hacking plan, also not working. The plan not working. It's like a flop. Like things are flopping for them, I believe. And then I see that the 7 of Swords of this 8 of Swords, like this would be trying to like steal and have a scheme, this 7 of Swords, which makes perfect sense. And then this 8 of Swords being, and this I like a lot in this little side read here. This card, usually, if you can even see, there's a woman that's inside a bunch of swords. So basically she's blindfolded. She can't see, she can't move. And I see that very much in relation to these schemes, right? Like these hackers are sort of finding themselves, I get the word like firewall. Like, nope, you can't get in, okay? They're getting like where they're trying to hack or whatever and they can't. Nope, this firewall has been created. You can't get in. And you can't see, or you can't, And then also with this flop of a Hunter Biden scheme to try to make him matter in this election. Also in that, I see this as they're getting rejected by the mainstream media. They can't get their story out. Nobody wants to publish it. Nobody wants to put out disinformation for them. So that's all interesting, I think. And then and this 2 of Coins, this to me, it feels like this is people going to vote, right? These being the votes cast. And it's like, I do believe that for the most part, our votes will be counted. It's like you have a choice who you want to vote for. And with this rebirth card, just somehow with this sun up here, because I thought, this card could be like a juggling of votes, a changing of the votes. And I'm, wondering if that would be tied into some of this. But every time I get to this card, it just feels light and positive to me. And I feel like I see people like going to vote and casting their vote. And that it counts. This rebirth is like, it's their version of the Judgment card. And this is people coming out. This card, the Judgment card even in itself, is actually people rising up from wherever they were hidden beneath the, it's like Judgment Day when like the people rise up from the dead almost. So that is cool. People rising up from the dead, so to speak. Kind of like some of this feeling. And it's because they're waking up. The trumpets are being, the trumpets. Maybe Trump was the trumpet. Like, hello, everybody needs to stand up, cast their vote, and be involved. And that is what I feel in this Seeker of Wands. And this is more of that youthful energy of being involved. And I feel this very much. I mean, you can see in the photo, the picture, like the future being very focused on the environment, on the earth. Like this is going to be our new like energy. And with that 10 of Cups, it's like people rising up, casting their votes. This new energy of like, we have to fix this and we have to fix this and we have to fix this and make this earth beautiful. And there's something so unpretentious when I look at this card also, what I feel here. And I feel that Trump was bringing like a pretentiousness. And I feel like the GOP turned into something incredibly pretentious. It was all the irony of them trying to turn Democrats into elites, which is that reversal thing they do, that projection thing. So no one can realize, you guys are such the elites and all you do is serve the other elites. And this is like more the democratic future, the American future, and our values just being more like good. Keeping it clean, keeping it honest, smiling, having a nice time, being nicer, and like learning the better values to live by. It's not about having golden toilets or, being impressed by a super rich man and some supermodel. It's just like being more impressed by like people's good nature. Oh, that cute dog. Oh, just love it. Love that energy. And then this 10 of Cups has always been my card also of the sort of happy ending. I mean, the cups, cups are Democrat. And that's why in this, Cups being Democrats, that tells me that Democrat vote. And so there we have, that sort of rainbow and like it's all going to be good. So, I hope I'm not repeating myself, but I just was going through and picking up a lot of this stuff. I thought I would share it with you guys. Yeah, you can see the good nature of this card, treating each other nicely, treating the earth nicely, waking up from your slumber and getting that vote out. So very cool. I hope that you guys liked that. Thanks for watching. And let me know, whatever you're thinking on your end if you want to share. And otherwise, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.